Hi, I'm Brad Strungstein, and this is my Industrial Revolution presentation. Let's get into it. So, the beginning. Where did the Industrial Revolution begin? The Industrial Revolution first took place. It started in Great Britain around 1780. It took a few more decades for it to spread to other Western countries in Europe. There were several factors that played into why the revolution has started. So a change in agricultural practices had happened during an agrarian revolution in 1700s. So now people could not only be fed with less money, but also with less labor. Because of the enclosure movement, many peasants moved toward towns and created a labor supply for factories. The enclosure movement was a lot of farms, plantations, ranches, they just put enclosures around their properties, and they couldn't have peasants live on there and work, so they moved into the towns to work for factories. Britain also had a large supply of money to invest in new machines and factories, along with their plentiful natural resources, so they could get the supplies they need without having to import them and waste all that money on trying to get them in. And not only that, but they had another supply of markets right there. So the manufacturers had outlets there where they could just drop off their goods and. And let's see. What was the first industry to be industrialized, and how was it? The first industry to be industrialized was textiles, mainly cotton. Cotton was a big industry which got industrialized. Mainly textiles were industrialized by these inventions such as the flying shuttle, spinning jenny, and cotton gin. So next we have, how did it work? What role did rivers and streams play in the Industrial Revolutions? Rivers and streams played the role of helping certain inventions that involved water power, like spinning jenny. Also, steamboats can be added into that because steamboats were built for the water, and they were built for transporting people, as seen in the picture there, and they could also transport goods and all kinds of stuff. Also, a lot of industries were built by the streams and rivers because they used their energy to the stream and rivers' energy to power their machines. And how is Industrial Revolution a series of chain reactions? It was a series of chain reactions because whenever someone would create one thing, another person would come along and make something better, and this kind of kept happening along in multiple things such as trains and the cotton industry, and they kept coming up with better sources of power. An example of this would be how Richard Trevithick's steam engine came along, and then it was soon followed by a better locomotive like the flange wheel locomotive, which then again was followed by a few more, which led to the rockets, which was the one they chose. And by 1950 they had locomotives that were going about 50 miles an hour. So transportation developed by improvement of trains and steamboats. I believe I just briefly explained how trains developed, but by 1850s, they had trains that were going 50 miles an hour, and also I believe they built a 6,000 mile train track, I believe, to transport goods, and the steamboats, they could move across water, so now they could go across mountains, lands, all kinds of stuff like that pretty fast with trains. Now they could go across waters, rivers, pretty much any waterway with the steamboat. And these were important because they were used to get the products which were manufactured to the market faster, and they could go further. Steamboats were also the main waterway transportation being used because they were big and powerful. And yeah. Alright. So next we have the ending. Did the Industrial Revolution end? Yes, I believe the Industrial Revolution did end. I believe it ended because it's also known as the first Industrial Revolution, meaning there had to have been multiple. And for a second one to come, first one must have ended. And also, we have shifted into a more technological revolution with all the new technologies such as phones, tablets, computers, televisions, smart cars, and even fridges. So, we've definitely shifted into a more technological revolution rather than an industrial revolution. And that is all I have. Thank you.